Are you tired of struggling to make ends meet? Do you dream of a life where your hard-earned money goes further? The answer could be Mexico. With a low cost of living compared to the US, Canada and Europe, your dollar will stretch further than you ever thought possible. Enjoy delicious cuisine, beautiful scenery and warm hospitality without breaking the bank. Don't just dream of a better life, make it a reality in Mexico. Hey amigos, I'm Robert and welcome to another GoingMX video. In this video, I will provide an in-depth overview of the cost of living in Mexico in 2023, including housing, food, transportation, utilities and healthcare. First off the bat, housing. The cost of housing in Mexico varies depending on the location, size and type of property. The cost of housing in popular beach destinations like Puerto Vallarta, Cancun or Los Cabos can be higher than in less touristy areas. In Mexico City, the capital and largest city in Mexico, the cost of housing can range from affordable to expensive. A typical two-bedroom apartment in a mid-range neighborhood can cost around $700 per month. If you prefer to live in a more upscale area, you can expect to pay around $1,100 per month. In the smaller cities or towns, the cost of housing can be even more affordable. A two-bedroom apartment in a city like Querétaro can cost around $400 to $500 per month. In addition to rental prices, there are other costs associated with housing in Mexico. Utility bills are not normally included in the rent and can add up to an additional $75 per month. An internet connection with a decent speed will cost around $35 per month. I would avoid cable TV as you'll get far better programs in English on the internet platforms like Netflix, Amazon, etc. It's worth noting that in Mexico many apartments are rented unfurnished, which means you'll need to purchase your own furniture, appliances and other household items. Now on to food. Mexican food is famous around the world for its delicious flavor and variety. As an expat in Mexico, you'll be able to enjoy a wide range of affordable and tasty food options. Whether you prefer street food or fine dining, there is something for everyone. A meal in a local restaurant can cost you around $4 to $6 for the menu of the day, while a meal in a more upscale restaurant can cost $15 to $25 per person. If you prefer to cook at home, you could expect to pay around $270 per month for groceries as a single person. This includes basic food items like rice, beans, meat, vegetables and fruits. In addition to food costs, there are also costs associated with dining out, such as tipping. In Mexico, it is customary to leave a tip of 10% of the total bill in restaurants. Transportation, as we all need to get around. The cost of transportation in Mexico will depend on the mode of transportation and the location. In major cities like Mexico City or Guadalajara, public transportation is cheap and convenient. A metro ride in Mexico City costs around 30 US cents, while a city bus ride is roughly 35 US cents. Taxis and services like Uber are also affordable, with the average cost being around $4 to $5 for a short ride. If you are planning to travel around the country, there are several bus companies that offer comfortable and affordable long-distance travel. A one-way ticket from Mexico City to Guadalajara, for example, will be around $50 US. I would avoid the additional expense of owning your own car until you've had at least 6 months of living in Mexico. Unfortunately, we all get sick at some point, and healthcare prices can really vary in Mexico. I won't go into depth in this video, but if you are around 60 years old and in fairly good condition, expect to pay between $700 to $1,000 per annum for the cheapest state healthcare program, which is currently called IMSS Bienestar. Before it is known as the Seguro Popular. But be aware the wait times can be never-ending for many services. Many expats decide to use private healthcare. So with that in mind, I'll give you some ballpark figures for private healthcare insurance in Mexico. A 50 to 65-year-old with no pre-existing conditions would be paying somewhere between $2,500 to $4,000 per annum with a $4,000 deductible for a decent private healthcare insurance. Whereas a 35-year-old would be paying around $1,500 with the same deductible. So with a $4,000 deductible, you might be wondering how much it would cost to treat a simple injury like a hairline fracture. Well, a small hospital would charge around $1,500, but a high-end large hospital would be closer to $4,000. And finally, onto the resume of the total cost per month for an expat living in Mexico in 2023. For a single person living in an apartment, $500 for housing, $110 for utilities and an internet connection, $270 for food and groceries, $100 for transportation, $170 for healthcare, $250 for entertainment and miscellaneous expenses. This brings the estimated monthly expenses to a total of $1,400 per month, and the biggest variable within this total is the price you'll be paying for healthcare. Overall, Mexico can be an affordable country for expats to live in, with a lower cost of living compared to many other countries. However, it's important to budget carefully and consider all expenses to ensure a comfortable and sustainable lifestyle. Check out my other videos about seeking a property in Mexico. If you have any questions, then drop them below and I'll make my best effort to answer them.